to do or execute defensively the way that you were, a couple weeks ago to get back to that level?
Just paying attention to the details, competing every single possession, and just guarding your yard. We have to do it as a collective group. Every single possession. We got to have 5 guys on a string.
Chicago and Orlando have both played well, played hard, so they've been good tests in that sense. Were there similarities between the two games, you felt like, on that end of the floor, and are there any kind of specifics you can refer to?
They both shot the ball well from 3. We gave up too many points through 3 quarters. Fourth quarter was a little better, but still not to the standard that we want. So we got to get back to guarding, like I said, with 5 guys and everybody being, connected on a string. And if anybody gets beat, low man's got to be there. The X has got to be ready. So, yeah.
How hard has been the chemistry of the team? Guys coming out, coming in to develop that chemistry so far?
That happens throughout the course of a year multiple times. So, I don't think that, that's the problem. We're happy to, get everybody back healthy and like I said, have everybody on the court. We just got to, be better than we have been the last 2 nights.
I think JJ told us pregame that Nate said in coaches meeting, it's like a good defense, a good team defense is a talking team defense. As you guys have tried to kind of recapture the things you were doing well on that side of the ball, how do you feel the level of talk has been? Is that has been good enough?
In spurts, I think it has been, but that's not good enough. If you get what I'm saying, you can't be, when you're getting stops, you can't just be talking. Like, if they score a couple possessions, it's okay. Like, they're going to score. You got to continue to do that even when you go a couple possessions without getting a stop. You got to be consistent on that end. I thought we started off the game tonight with, a lot of communication. And then when they go on a little bit of a run, I think we kind of get quiet a little bit. We can't do that. You got to continue to, figure things out through the flow of the game and not just, talk when things are going good.
One of the things that was, I think, a defining characteristic of you guys during that 30-game or so stretch where you're one of the best defenses in the league is that, like, if something did go wrong, like, you guys had a really quick sort of next play mentality. Like, if you were going to let a guy see a shot or something like that and he made it, it was like, oh, well, like, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. Like I said, there's not many NBA basketball players in the world. So the guys that are in the league are good players, and if they make a shot, regardless of what percentage they're shooting from the field at the time, if they're going through a shooting slump, not, I would say 98% of the league can make a 3 in a game. So you can't just, the world's, burning just because, something that you don't think is going to happens. You got to continue to, stay, the course, pay attention to the details, and continue to compete. We got to get our compete level back to what it was.
Last 2.
How do you think the execution was against Franz Wagner overall? JJ mentioned to us that he obviously pointed out how well he played against you guys the first time around, and it seemed like he would kind of close the door on you guys after you cut it to 7 in the fourth.
Yeah, he's a really good player, and he made a couple tough shots. But, I'm sure if we go back and watch the film, there's things we could have done to, kind of, cool that down a little bit. But like I said, he's a really good player that made a couple, really tough shots in those situations, and we just got to be better.
What did you see offensively?
Last question.
Offensively in the third quarter.
I'll have to watch the film on that. I think when we score 18 points, that's not good enough in today's NBA. We got to figure out how to be better. Especially against a switching group. yeah, we got to continue to play with the pass and make defenses play what you call in the blender, get downhill, get a guy to help, swing, attack the closeout, and we didn't do that, in that third quarter. Appreciate you.
See any differences between kind of the defense that you played first half and you get to the 9-point lead before they make that run, and then the second half and just the shots Orlando was able to get?
Yeah, we had a really good intention to start the game. We tried to clean some things up in film today. We still got to clean some things up with some of our execution of coverages.
With LeBron and Rui coming back, ramping up, how much kind of grace are you allowing for the team to find a rhythm and all that versus what you're seeing defensively just not quite look the same?
Yeah, we're going through it a little bit, and we got to get back into the flow and the rhythm and those guys. I think it's not just them getting back into their flow, but it's the group and how the group functions.
JJ, I know you just mentioned the group, but on an individual level, when we talk about players getting into rhythm and shaking off the rust, I think mostly we talk about them on offense. LeBron had been such like an anchor for you guys defensively.
Yeah.
Is there rust on that side of the ball too? Is it the same activity level, the same talk as he's tried to kind of get back?
Nobody was good against Chicago. He was much better tonight.
JJ, you spoke to us pregame about the success that Franz had against you guys in LA. When you guys cut it to 7 in the fourth, it was kind of Franz taking over a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, obviously his talent, or was there anything defensively that you would have liked to see there?
Not letting him get to his right hand would be one. And I think overall, as the game, we have a phrase, redding up or red up when we switch, and we were very much passive when we switched onto the ball. Banchero hit a 3 on that, and when you don't red up against a guy like Wagner, he's now got a step into your airspace with thrust and momentum, and he's hard to stop.
We've talked about you've talked about grace, and you even talked about the bad defensive habits pregame that developed. Does it feel like there's enough time to make this, I guess, quick fixes, or does it feel like you can make quick references to when you guys were doing some of these things early in the season to, I guess, turn it around quicker?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it'd be nice. We're going to hopefully get some court time in Indiana on Wednesday. I think there is time, but we've got to be very strategic about how we use that time outside of games.
Coach, we saw a different attitude defensively against Denver. What does it take for you to see your team going to that level of intensity?
I mean, it wasn't just against Denver. We had it for about